So, hello once again. Welcome everyone to this week's live webinar here at Gym Street, the first financial district in the metaverse for our English-speaking community. As you can already see here on my shared screen, we have a special guest whom we are very grateful that they're taking the time to join us here live for this webinar. Our most recently joined business partner, Swapin. They're going to talk about their business model, what they have to offer, and of course, what the benefits are for our community out of this business partnership. I myself have also already used their service before. It's very handy, very useful, and also, super fluent. So if you are in the European space using SEPA bank accounts, you can simply send crypto or use your cryptocurrency to make payments to a regular bank account. But without me talking too much about it, I would like to hand it over to Ewald and Kate to take over this part now for yourselves from here on.
Hello all, it's Ewald from Tallinn, and I am a CEO and founder of Swapin. And actually, I'm in crypto space since 2013. I started as a early adopter and miner. And also with us is Kate from business side.
Nice to meet you all.
And as you mentioned, Swapin allows you to spend your crypto for your daily life. And actually, it's not just on-ramp to your account, but you can send euros or British pounds to every European IBAN account. This means that you can use your crypto for paying your monthly bills, even rent, send funds to your friends, just name it. And this is actually what is really neat, because there's gap between crypto and traditional world, and this is actually what is needed. And on the other hand, Swapin allows merchants to accept crypto, but get euros and pounds instantly. And this is also actual need for the merchants who wants to accept crypto, but don't want to take crypto risk. And this is actually what we are doing.
Yes, so that was the short introduction. I will start now with my screen sharing. We have prepared a few slides. We will cover a bit more details about us as a company, what we do, and then also there are product demos that we are going to present later on as well. So if that's fine with everyone, I will start sharing my screen and we can kick this presentation off. So everyone can see my screen now, yes?
I can see it, yes.
Perfect. So, Hannes, would you like to kick things off?
Yeah, as I already told, Swapin allows crypto owners to spend their crypto in their daily life, and on the other hand, allows merchants to accept crypto in their daily businesses and get fiat currencies.
Mm-hmm.
And we still see that there's a huge gap between these two worlds. There are half solutions, or like solutions what are covers some card activities, but for the real adoptions, then we need something more. And this is actually what we are going to do in the next years.
Mm-hmm.
And as I mentioned, to spend crypto for your daily life is something from another level, because mostly competitors are offering just off-ramp. This is just that you can sell your crypto and get fiat currencies to your bank account, but there are a lot of steps. First, if you are using exchange, you'll have to send funds to exchange, then change funds, then send fiat funds, euros or pounds to your account, and then you can start to use them. But with Swapin solution, you can just fill beneficiary data, and we will debit needed amount of crypto from your Web3 wallet, or you can send also crypto manually to swap in wallet address, and that's all. And this is super easy. The flow is smooth, and yeah, we see that more and more clients are starting to use our solution for their daily life. Basically, you don't need bank account anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And we are doing it actually since 2017. We started with an MVP in late 2016. And when we started with this service, and we tried to explain it to even clients or investors, then it was very hard, because on these days, there was a lot of service providers with custodial solutions. And as I mentioned, our solution is non-custodial solution. This means that we are never holding any assets. And this is actually a very free approach when wallet belongs to the user and funds are safe, and Swapin is a tool. And we are doing it since 2017. And when we started, then there wasn't word Web3, but now we see that we are doing right thing. And now we have also word called Web3, and this is actually what is Swapin. Swapin is a pure Web3 solution. I already touched this topic, how this solution works, and yeah, let's move on with the slides. Yeah, one very important part is security and all what is related with the security. Swapin holds the strongest European virtual asset service provider license. And this means that we are a fully compliant solution. And even if the MiCA regulations will come on the next year, we are ready for this, and we can cover all European countries. And we are offering the highest standards for the service.
Exactly.
Yeah, and here you can see also this is linked to our license, and I'm very happy that we have this license, because this license opens a lot of doors for us from the partner sides. We are working with European top providers from banking, from cards. I can also mention some names. With open banking, we are working with Yapili. Yapili is one of the top providers in Europe. From cards, we started cooperation with the MasterCard Lighthouse program. So we are official partner in this program. So there's a lot of things happening in the back.
And now more specifically about the products. So as Anne has already mentioned, we have, so firstly, the platform works both for individuals and businesses. But if to focus on the individual side, then here there would be two main products that our customers are keen to use. One of them is called Swapin Pay, which on one hand side allows you to make payments to yourself with a fixed euro amount. But more importantly, with this product, you can pay for any invoice that you will receive. You can pay your rent. Basically, you can use it to pay in crypto for your daily expenses. And another solution that we have also developed is Swapin Get, which is very easy to set up. And to use this service, the only thing you need to do is connect it with your wallet, set up the wallet account, and then you would send in any you can do it any time of the day. You would just send a certain amount of crypto from your wallet, and this gets immediately exchanged to fiat and sent to your bank account. And then also we mentioned services for traditional businesses, and that's exactly what Swapin Collect does, where any business that is invoicing their customers, but let's say these customers would prefer to pay in crypto, then what will actually happen is then they will receive an invoice, and together with that invoice, also a link will be sent out. If they choose to pay in crypto, then they can actually perform that action through the link itself. But I guess enough of talking in that sense. Let's get into demos that are more important at this stage, and let's cover it step by step. So for any customer that comes to our platform, they would need to actually go to application and then complete a proper KYC or KYB process, depending on if it's a business or a customer. And then as we move along with the products, the first thing, of course, here you can also go and immediately connect your wallet. At the moment, we support connect with MetaMask, Trust Wallet, and also there are many wallet connections available through Wallet Connect. Once that's done, then you can actually start using our services. So as you can see, one option with Swapin Pay is that you are making a payment to yourself. In this case, already some of the fields are pre-filled because we have the information. And in order to make this payment, let's say that you need to pay your rent, which is 2,000 euros per month. You can here use from a variety of different cryptocurrencies that we support. At the moment, we can take as example in stablecoin. And then what I would need to complete this payment is an IBAN account. That is mine, and I'll just copy it from this specific link at the moment for the test purposes. Then you provide your IBAN account. Already the beneficiary's address is pre-filled because again, that's part of the KYC process, and the payment description would be withdraw, and here you can just add extra, let's say that I need to pay rent to my own bank account, and then I would just add here a note that it's for rent. So that's when I would exchange it to my own bank account. And what happens now is that we actually generate this temporary wallet address where you are asked to send this specific amount of cryptocurrency. And once we receive this amount in the wallet address, we immediately make the exchange and send out this fixed 2,000 euros to the bank account that you have provided to us. Now this works so that it's locked for 30 minutes. If this time is up, then obviously you would need to start all over again in order to perform this transaction. Now another option is that instead of paying it to yourself, you can immediately pay it to someone else. And in this case, you start with the same, you provide the amount, and then here you would need to have a beneficiary's name. So let's say that I'm making it to Hannes. Let's say that Hannes' IBAN account is that. We use an address here. And here I can say that the payment description is rent for April. And the same thing happens, that we are generating this wallet address. You would send a certain amount of Bitcoin, and Hannes will receive exactly 20,000 euros on his bank account. And as mentioned also previously by Hannes, we are non-custodian, which means that we are not keeping your assets with us. Now, if we move to Swapin Get, which is more easier to use, then how this one works is that you again come to our platform, you create the new Swapin Get address, you provided the name. With that name, this is something that will appear on your bank statement. Let's say that it's just daily expense. You select a coin. Again, the same cryptocurrencies are available here. And you provide the IBAN account, beneficiary's address. And here you will confirm that both the crypto assets and the bank account that you are using for Swapin Get belongs to you. So the biggest difference between two of these products is that with Swapin Pay, you can still pay to yourself, but then you can fix the amount in euros. And then of course with Swapin Pay, you can pay to someone else. But with Swapin Get, the use case is limited so that it's only from your wallet to your bank account. And if you click continue, then this wallet address is being generated. Now what you will do is you will save it on your wallet, and next time if you actually want to get any amount of euros on your bank account, you will just send crypto to the wallet address, and we immediately exchange it to euros and it will arrive on your bank account. So in theory, you actually don't need to log in every time you want to get cryptos on your bank account. And now lastly, let's also cover the solution for the businesses. So as you can see here, for every customer that comes to us, we will generate their custom link. And this link can be customized so that we would add the logo. Of course, it will have your company name as the beneficiary name. It will have your IBAN account. And then the background for using this product is that, let's say that I'm software development agency. I'm working with a crypto startup, and now I've built a product for this crypto startup, and I want to invoice them. But this startup is saying that, hey, we actually want to pay in crypto. So what you will do is that you will still send your invoice. It will have an amount in euros. And together with that invoice, you also include this link. Now your customer receives the invoice, they open up the link, and then they take the information from that invoice. So again, let's take this example that to build that product, it cost them 20,000 euros. They would choose that they want to pay it in Ethereum this time. Payment description is what is shown on the invoice. And then if it's a business, then you would use that to fill in. So we would need to have, you would need to provide your email address, your company name, company registration number here, company address, and agree with the terms. And now the very same thing happens as in the case of Swapin Pay. We are locking the rates for 30 minutes. The client would send crypto to the wallet address. As soon as we receive crypto on that wallet address, we are making the exchange, and your company will receive 20,000 euros on their bank account with the correct payment description and other related information. And here I would just like to point out that the biggest difference compared to also our competition is that they would allow you to collect crypto into their wallet, but then still you need to offer it to your bank account. Whereas in this case, we are taking the workload off from the accountants as well, because every time you're sending an invoice and you expect that to be paid, you will send out the invoice, you will provide the link, your customer pays, and also in your bank statement, you will have separate lines for each settlement that is being settled with your bank account. So there's less work, less mess, and also considering that crypto is very volatile, with this you are also mitigating that fact, because at the end of the day, if the business needs to receive 20,000 euros on their bank account, they need to receive 20,000 euros, not less, not more. And Hannes, would you have anything to add?
Yeah, merchant will get always full amount of euros or pounds.
Exactly. But that's all regarding the product demos. And I believe we can now jump into Q&A session. And maybe I will just quickly cover the fact that the partnership that we have now built works so that you actually will be provided a referral link which you can use to set up your account. And then anytime you use our platform to offer crypto to fiat, then there is a certain fee also that we are paying back to our partner, to the project. And then from that project, that also gets then redistributed back to the community. So what my message is that anytime you're making payments, then actually there's a certain amount that goes back to building and improving the platform as well. But that's all from my side. If we have any questions, I would be happy to take them and move from there.
Well, thank you so much, Kate and Eva. That was very, very insightful, very interesting. And yeah, as I already said in the beginning, I really love your service. I've been using it myself quite a few times already. And we've also recommended it already to others who have started using it. And it works very seamlessly. So as you just made the demonstration, I can confirm that you just send your cryptos to the wallet address, and maybe even the same day, depending on how fast the bank accounts work, But within the regular, bank operation times, you will receive your euro payments to your bank account or the recipient whom you want to pay using cryptocurrencies. So I see Jose sending a message. Greetings from Ecuador, which is Latin America. I already opened my Swapin account in my country, but I received the message, yes, that it does not work there. Kate, maybe you want to explain again which countries are currently available, to be used with Swapin, if there's any outside of the European Union, or is it currently restricted to the EU?
Yeah, currently we can only send funds to European IBAN accounts. This means SEPA payments, single European payment area. But in the near future, we would like to add SWIFT payments and start to serve US dollar-based transactions. And also in the near future, we will add options that clients can start to offer to cards. This means that our clients can start to send euros or dollars to their existing debit or credit cards, and then we can cover also clients from outside the European Union.
All right, so Jose, I hope this answers your question for now. So we will keep you posted, of course, and as soon as we receive any updates from Swapin about your expansions, and those services will be available.
But yeah, also regarding clients from outside European Union, there's actual use case. If you are, let's say, in Latam and you want to send euros or buy something from Europe, then this is actually use case that you can use Swapin for transferring your crypto, and recipient will get euros. Let's say you want to buy a hobby car, buy some goods, services, whatever, and our clients are using us as a cross-border payments, and this is a real use case.
Yes, and I will also add that firstly, thank you, Jose Luis, for already setting up your account. I actually advise everyone else also to do so, even if your country is currently not supported, because then you will be definitely notified about the future opportunities, new markets where we are expanding. So this is the best way also to keep you in the loop.
Yes, definitely. So once people have signed up, as you just said, so Jose, it's good that you already signed up your account, even though you may not be able to use it just yet. But as Kate said, you will immediately be notified and regularly receive, update messages about Swapin's further plans and what they're up to. Let me just quickly check here. Okay. So any other questions from our webinar participants? So do you know if there are ways for someone outside the EU, maybe there are so many, online bank accounts such as N26 that I could think of, or Revolut, that are also, being promoted throughout the various app stores. So that may also be a way to check if you would be able to set up one of those, which I don't know for sure. However, if that's possible, that way you would have a Euro bank account, at your name that then can be used to make payments to.
Yeah, in our plans, we are not going to open Euro bank accounts, as I mentioned, because we are not custodial solution. This means that we are never holding any client assets or funds, and we are just making instant swap. But what we are planning to do in the near future, we are going to issue virtual cards, and we will connect these cards with clients' wallets. This means that you can install this virtual card to your Apple Pay, let's say, and you can start to use this card for payments. Is it like online payments, some checkout process, or even you can buy coffee from bus station? And yeah, this solution is in our roadmap, and this is planned even for this year.
All right. Well, that sounds also very, very interesting. The question that immediately comes up from my end, if I would be using one of these debit card, would I have to probably previously fund the card using my cryptos? And if so, where will it then be held? And if I decide, for example, to send Bitcoin to fund the debit card to be able to make payments, and as you of course mentioned earlier, the value of Bitcoin fluctuates. That would also mean if I hold Bitcoin to use it for payments with the debit card, I would also have to keep that in mind, right?
Yeah, of course. And here we have different stages. First, we will open a solution where our clients can start to send euros or pounds or dollars to their existing cards. This means that this is like one-time conversion, and they can just, let's say, change one Ethereum, get euros, and euros will be sent to their existing card. So this is one upcoming solution. But as I mentioned, we are going to issue virtual cards, but now it's the tricky part. The funds will stay in your Web3 wallet, and if something is going to be paid with mentioned card, then we will debit this amount from your Web3 wallet on the same time with an exact rate, so you can be sure that you will get the same rate what is at the moment market price.
All right. Well, that for sure sounds interesting. So again, what we're going to do, we will share our company affiliate link, as Kate has mentioned, within our community, so that everyone can go ahead, sign up their accounts with Swapin. And as soon as it will become available also in your area and you start using it, not only will you benefit from the awesome services from Swapin, but at the same time, you will also contribute to our overall community success here at Gym Street. So that's why we love to bring in, new business partners as often as we can. And again, I've said it in the beginning, I will say it again now just before you leave, Kate and Ewald. It's been a great, great pleasure to have you here with us in our live webinar, and we really highly appreciate that you have set aside the time to be here with our community. So thank you very much for that. And I'm sure that this was a super valuable, insightful live webinar with our new business partner, Swapin. Thank you.
Thank you, and let's keep in touch.
Yes, thank you. And I also shared that please also feel free to join us on our Telegram. Again, it's the best place to have the latest updates about our upcoming solutions, markets that we're planning to support. And thank you for inviting us. It's been a pleasure. And I hope to see this partnership grow really well.
So do we. All right. So of course, if you are interested, you're also invited to stay, depending on what your plans are for the remainder of the day. So now I'm going to announce our system designer, Alberto Mera, who has also just joined us live. By the way, Alberto, I've just made you co-host, so you can go ahead, unmute yourself, and also start your video. You have all the necessary rights available. All right, there you are already. And Alberto has joined to talk to us about the stabilization and growth of the GYMNET token, to give us some, more insights and better understanding regarding the usage of GYMNET and how we are going to ensure the long-term stability and growth. So at this point, Alberto, thank you for joining us, and I would love to hand it over to you now.
Yeah, thank you, Timo. Well, hello, everybody. Yes, as Timo was advancing, I'm going to be talking about some of the tokenomics, the meaning behind the way the tokenomics were built, and how we expect this to work in the coming years. Specifically, I'm talking about what will happen when when the issuance of tokens eventually ends. As you may know, all of you may know, at the end of December 2026, the emission of tokens will end. And some of you were wondering, okay, what will happen when this time comes and there are no more tokens being printed? You know, at the moment, the yield that you receive from having a miner comes from this emission of new tokens that are emitted every month at a decreasing rate. So it's important to start understanding some of these concepts. These tokens are emitted every month at a decreasing rate. Every block creates new tokens, but every month, every block comes with fewer tokens. And these tokens will be decreasing until 2026, 2027, when the emission will eventually end and all the tokens in existence will have been created. So some of you, understandably, were wondering, okay, what happens, you know, when this time comes? Where will the yield come for the owners of miners that are mining and are using the land in the metaverse? So in order to address this question and also talk about the potential performance or the different scenarios that the token can have over the next few years, we created this presentation. So it's going to be a short one, 15-20 minutes. And of course, you can be having some questions and I may be able to answer them at the end. And the presentation will cover a few things. First, a plan for 2026 and beyond, what I'm talking about. Secondly, the tools for token price stability. I know that you receive GYMNET tokens when you mine, and this means that some of you, or potentially all of you, are concerned with the performance of the token in the short term, and you may want to know, okay, what's going to happen with the price of the token in the coming years. And thirdly, I want to talk about the price sensitivity of the GYMNET token to sales, because as you will learn, if you didn't know already, the price of the token is somehow related to the sales of assets that happen in the metaverse. Okay, so to get started, we can cover the plan for until 2026, 2027, and beyond. As I said before, the current emission ends at the end of 2026, and you may understand how this works if you think about it in terms of shares being sold by a company. You know, when a company goes and sells shares of their company, they usually do this in one day. They plan for this sale, they perform the sale, and on the same day, all the shares are sold at one price. What happens with the GYMNET token is somewhat similar, because it got sold, but not in one day, instead over 5 years, 6 years, and not at one price, but instead it's earned by miners that purchase land in the metaverse. So this is the way the GYMNET token is being distributed, which is different to how the shares in a company are being distributed, because usually what happens here is you directly pay for the shares and then you receive them, right, at one price. In here, you receive them for free, more or less, because of course you are paying for the miner to mine these tokens, and you don't receive them all at one price, but this price moves as new tokens come into the marketplace, and new tokens are also burned in the market, as I will explain. So if we understand how this works, I hope so. If you have any questions, well, you can of course ask them. You may consider, okay, what happens then after 2026 when my yield that today is coming in the form of GYMNET tokens will no longer come in the form of GYMNET tokens? Well, to understand what the plan is here, it's also useful to think about it with another, comparing it with another financial name and financial activity that also happens in the traditional markets, which are dividends. You know that most companies that have a commercial activity pay dividends to the owners of the company because, well, they basically distribute these earnings, right? They perform some kind of commercial activity, they sell stuff, they sell services, they sell products, they make a profit, and then they distribute this profit with the owners of the company. Similarly, the plan here is to have commercial activity happen in the metaverse. This is already happening. Most of you, I assume, are already mining in the metaverse. So this is already some kind of commercial activity that is happening in the metaverse. And as you know, the metaverse has a limited space, like the world, and commercial activity will happen in the metaverse. We've already seen some of this as well when we see some companies buying land and then using it to create a bank or create other services that are related to their activity. So as we move along, as we move towards 2027, it is expected that this commercial activity will bring a revenue to the company, and that this revenue will be similar to the revenue that comes to companies that have shares and have shareholders. So what will happen here? What will happen is that this revenue, this profit that the company is making, will be distributed to the owners of land, to the owners of miners. And this distribution of USD, in this case, will be the yield that will take over the yield coming in GYMNET tokens. So as we get closer to 2027, you should expect to see that a bigger chunk of the yield comes in the form of USD coming from this commercial activity, and not so much coming from GYMNET tokens the way that you are receiving them now. So this is the plan that the GYMNET metaverse has, and this is what will happen to the revenue, to the yield that you already receive from 2026. If you do some research on dividends, you will see that companies pay anything from 2% to 30% on dividend yield. At the moment, I think the yield that you earn at GYMNET is around 4%, 4 or 5%. So we could expect to see these kinds of dividend yields, potentially higher, when this commercial activity is coming to you via revenue earned by the metaverse. So again, this is the plan for 2026 and beyond. If something wasn't clear, please do leave some questions. And we can then move on to what happens to the token price from here to 2026. And for this, I think it's important to understand something that the system has within it since the beginning, which are buy and burn tools. So I explained before, every month, every block, basically, new tokens come into the hands of users, right? They purchase land, they purchase miners, they receive tokens. And this has been happening for a number of months already, years even. And this means that there is a pool of GYMNET tokens. Of course, a big amount of GYMNET tokens means that if a percentage of these are sold, then the impact on the price can be such that takes the price of the token down. So one way to stabilize the price of the token is to reduce this amount of tokens. So if we have fewer tokens as the supply, the percentage of tokens, or let's say the risk of tokens being sold, is decreased, basically because there are not so many tokens available to be sold. So in order to reduce this amount of tokens over time, the buy and burn mechanisms were created. And the first one is, of course, the most common and the most used, which is that for every time that any asset is purchased or any kind of activity is happening in the metaverse in the form of purchasing of assets, a percentage of this money is used to buy tokens, GYMNET tokens, and burn these tokens, which means price pressure up because of the purchase, and then burning, which means supply decreases. This is the main buy and burn mechanism or tool that the system uses, and we have some others that are already in place and some others that will be coming. So as the ones that are already in place, we can maybe highlight Cash FT, which is a service that you all know is basically a debit card that you can use to purchase stuff with your crypto balances. And every time a transaction happens with these crypto balances, every time you have a transaction, a commission is charged, of course, the same way that a commission is charged every time you pay with your debit card in USD or whatever. A percentage of these commissions will be used or is already used for buy and burn. So every time one of these transactions takes place, a commission is charged, a percentage of this commission is used for buy and burn. Of course, CashFT launched barely 2 months ago, I think. So the growth is good, but we're still early to see a major impact coming from these commissions in the buy and burn. But it is a service that we believe has a lot of potential, and we will see in the future, what kind of metrics this offers. In the future as well, there will be other tools, other mechanisms that will increase these buy and burn mechanisms. The first one is a dual payment system. This dual payment system means that you will be able to purchase assets like land, miners, with GYMNET tokens in part. And a percentage of these GYMNET tokens that you use to purchase this asset will immediately be burned. This is similar to what happens with CashFT and what happens when you purchase with a USD, but it doesn't have the price pressure. It only has the supply decrease associated with it. And finally, in the future as well, we will have a buyback wallet initiative that I guess will be explaining as the time comes for this. But yeah, all of these are tools that are used to decrease the amount of tokens in the supply in the market, meaning that every time one of these tools is triggered, there are fewer tokens, and fewer tokens means fewer risk of these tokens being sold, which means higher stability for the token price. So if we remember what I've been explaining here, we have first that the token emission is decreasing by itself because of the code until 2027. So every month there are fewer tokens created, but in absolute terms there are more tokens until 2027, when no more tokens will be created and there will be a deflation in absolute terms. And on the other hand, we have the buy and burn tools that I explained that decrease this inflation. So inflation happens, but happens at a lower rate because of these buy and burn features, that what they do is they go to the market, purchase the token, and burn the token. Now, if we put everything together, if we put the monthly increase, but at a decreasing rate of tokens, plus the buy and burn tools that are already in place to purchase the token and burn the token, we can create scenarios. And one such scenario for what the price of the GYMNET token could be in the next 3 years, is the following. This is a chart that assumes a few things, and I want to cover all of them so it's clear what we're looking at here. This is a price projection for the token price until 2027 based on one thing, which is token purchases coming from the sale of assets. So every time a new asset is purchased in the metaverse, and every time a user comes and purchases land or purchases a miner, a percentage of this, as I explained before, is used to buy the token and burn the token. This chart only takes this into account. It doesn't take into account the other buy and burn mechanisms that I've explained, but since one of them, CashFT, has just launched and the others will be coming in the future, I didn't want to have them in the chart because well, it wouldn't be necessary. So what we're just looking at here is the potential price of the token as buy and burn continues to happen as it has happened until today, and this coupled with the decreased emission of tokens. This is why you see that even though buy pressure stays the same, the tendency of the price, the trend of the price is upward, only because every month, as I said, there are fewer tokens coming into the market. If the price pressure stays as it's been for the past months, then we can see an impact in the price, in the token price, just because, well, this is the way the token emission works. Finally, one thing also to understand in this chart is that this chart is also taking into account sales, because people not only buy tokens and not only receive tokens, but they also sell tokens. So it's important to also have token sales in mind, when doing these price projections. And this chart assumes that for every amount of tokens that is created every month, 20% of those is sold every month. So we can see here that despite this selling, if the buy and burn tools continue to work as they've been working in the past, we can see this price happening in the coming months. You see the x-axis, the one with at the bottom, is in months. So this is the amount of months until the end of 2026. Of course, you can understand that after 2026, in 2027, no more tokens will be created. So there is no more tokens coming into the market. Therefore, there is no more selling of new tokens. Of course, selling of tokens from the past will already be possible, will also be possible, or still be possible, but no more tokens will come. And I didn't want to have that into the chart, because when you add that to the chart, the price basically goes like in a straight line up, and yeah, it may not be. I mean, it looks good, but it's not so, probably not so certain. So yeah, this is a price projection with all those assumptions, and I think it helps to understand what I was explaining before about token emission and buy and burn mechanisms that work in this system. So in conclusion, before looking at those questions, the plan is ready until 2026, 2027. This was always part of the plan. When you create a token that comes with a project, ideally you should have in mind that the token emission will end at some point, because you don't want to have an infinite amount of tokens. Secondly, the yield will come in the form of dividends when no more yield is coming in the form of tokens from the project. Third, utility in the form of more users in the platform will have an impact on the price, and this impact on the price can be seen in this chart that we've been looking at just now. So yeah, this is the presentation. So hope you liked it, and maybe yes, we can look at those questions, see if we can answer some of them.
Well, Alberto, first of all, thank you so much also to you for taking the time to join us in our live webinar to make this presentation here for our community. The first time Alberto has done this was during our recent live event in Japan, and they really much liked this, so we decided that it would also be a good idea to bring you on live, for all our other communities. In this case, the English-speaking community. Many of you are from Philippines, but we're currently seeing, big growth and new members. So I'm getting a thank you. Alberto, it seems that your presentation, it's just so clear that no one's actually having any more questions. And I also think the same way, actually. Let's do it like this. Let me go ahead and add something to it. And if you have any further thoughts to add up on what I am going to talk about here now, Alberto, feel free to also compliment me. Now, first of all, what you can do when you come here to gymstreet.io to our dashboard, there is the info center right here. And I definitely recommend to you that you regularly come here and check that one out. Asabor says, Alberto cleared everything. Yeah, I think so too. This is a short but very, very precise presentation that Alberto has put together for us. And I also think the way that you are comparing things with the traditional markets, with stocks and dividends, that's a very good comparison to help people understand much better what the value actually is that they get when they purchase, the virtual land in our metaverse. They start earning the tokens as rewards from our virtual miners. So we have already many innovative products available, even way before the actual release of the financial district in the metaverse, right? And what Alberto just talked about, the Cash FT card was just one out of many use cases. And if you come here to the GYMNET utility section in our documentation, and you scroll down a little bit, you can see Cash FT as one of the use cases. And then a lot more is going to be added in the years to come, as Alberto just said, until the year of 2027, when token emission ends. Look at the long list we have already in place, what's being planned to add more use cases as GYMNET utilities. So those of you who are already with us today, who have already made their purchases, who have become virtual landowners, who have attached their miners to their land parcels that are now producing these GYMNET rewards, it's probably the best idea to be hodlers for now. We get many questions. If you look at the price, of the GYMNET token, how it's gone up to almost $2 just to come back down to 2.5 cents. Yes, that has happened. However, we have already seen Alberto's projections, and those, Alberto, correct me, but the way I got you is that you have used very conservative numbers to do these price projections, right? Based on past experience also. So we've only used 20% sell pressure, and we have also, used the low, or maybe rather low revenue that has been generated in the past. But we may expect, as we grow further with our community, that sales are actually going to further increase. Of course, this would also probably result in a somewhat increasing sell pressure, to hold against it. But on average, we may expect things to more or less, play out the way as Alberto has shown it to us in your presentation here. So that's very, very insightful. And if you want to, get some more information to help you understand further, what the use cases are going to be that we will be adding here in the future, just come here to our docs.gymstrat.io at docs.gymstreet.io. Sorry for the misspelling here. And that's our Gitbook, our documentation, where you can just, read through these things to get further information. Also, what I would recommend you to do is that you come here to our YouTube channel, where you will find the most recent webinar recordings. And last week, we had Jordan Markov from ImmersiveX here to talk to us about what they are currently working on behind the scenes regarding, the creation of the virtual world, the metaverse itself. You also have the English version available here. And that's also very, very interesting in combination to what we just heard Alberto talk about here, because there you also get some actual use cases, how you will be able to, to customize your land parcels, to make them look the way you would like them to be, or how to place your business. If you're a business owner, to bring your business to the metaverse, you can, contact ImmersiveX, and they will seek ways how to work with you together to become a business partner here at GymStreet, and to use our tools to present or represent your business in the metaverse. And also what we can do here, if we come back, you can come to the partnerships section that we have recently activated here in the dashboard. And as we just had one of our new latest business partners, Swapin, talk to us. Let me find theirs. Where is Swapin actually? Is it? Here it is, Swapin. So I just wanted to show that to you. They have already gotten their own individual building exclusively designed, for them by our experts over at ImmersiveX. You can also watch the short, video presentation to show us, to give an idea of what it's going to look like in the metaverse. And of course, down here, you also have a short summary, of the benefits of this partnerships together with Swapin. What I would like to do now for the last minutes of this live webinar, let's come back here to the metaverse section and come into our dashboard to remind you of the fact that for the last 5 days of April, actually from today, it's only 4 days left, we have the end of month sprint promotion. And this, guys, is the last chance for all of you to get 15% extra discount on all of our super bundle, because when this promotion is over, we're not planning to do anything like that again in the near future, maybe not even at all, because as much as we love doing these promotions, we've also received some feedback from the community that at some point it's quite enough, and we believe that this is true. So we just want to remind you of the fact that since the beginning of the year, we kicked it off with the New Year promotion, and then every month, basically, we had some sort of discount promotion going on, and we're going to stop this at the end of April. So for the remainder of 4 days, you have the final chance to get that 15% extra discount. And you can see right here what that actually means. So if you look at the super bundles, where we grant you that extra discount, they come with a regular discount anyways. We just add another 15%. And if you look at the biggest one, our R22, that consists of 90 land parcels and 360 virtual miners, plus 25 land upgrades that we also add to it for free. So the value that we see here is actually summed up only from the 90 land parcels and 360 miners. It doesn't even include the actual value of the upgrades that are also included. So you can, view these as a free, a giveaway on top, like the cherry on top that we give you here when you purchase one of these super bundles. And if you make use of the extra 15% discount promotion, you will get the big R22 super bundle at 50% compared to the regular price that the included land parcels and miners are worth. Now, one more thing for you that you need to know is that when the promotion is over, we are also going to introduce the somewhat adjusted super bundle. So the constellation, 90 land parcels, 360 miners, is also going to change. The overall value will remain, it will stay the same, but we are going to change things such that there will be more land parcels and less virtual miners included, meaning that even though you get the same value, since there will be less miners included, it means that those who purchase the current super bundles will earn more GYMNET rewards because of the fact that there are more miners included. Now, let me jump back here to the PowerPoint presentation where we have just put together the super bundles as an overview. And one more thing, for those of you who are completely new, you will not just get the plus 15% extra discount on the super bundles, but if you are a new member and you register with GymStreet today, you can purchase one of our super bundles and get up to 10% additional discount on top of the 15% extra discount. So if we look at it again here at our R22 super bundle example, you can see that the regular price or the regular value is actually at just over $28,000. And regularly, if you purchase it, instead of purchasing the included land parcels and miners individually, if you purchase them as the super bundle, you get 35% discount by default, putting it at a price of $18,433. So you're already saving 35% by default. Now we add another 15%, as we just talked about, so you get it at 50%, so at half the price. And if you're a completely new member, so everyone can get the super bundle at half the price, right here, the R22. And new members, we add another 10% discount on top. Now, this NFT Turbo promotion for new members, that's going to be valid all the time. We don't plan, to take that off. However, for the current existing members, this will be your last chance to get the extra 15% discount on top. So make sure that you tell this information to all of your team members that you have already built within your team structure, which brings us to the next part. For those of you who are actively engaged as affiliates here at GymStreet, building your own business together with us, we also have the April competition still going on, meaning that you can earn plus 10% extra commission on your first line sales, so your direct referrals. Normally you get 10% direct a referral commission. So every new member that you introduce to Gym Street via your referral link, so directly referred members, when they make a purchase, you earn 10% direct sales commission directly into your wallet. And we will add another, so we will double up your commission. In that case, we will add another extra 10% on top. That's going to be paid in GYMNET tokens. Now, this extra commission has not yet been implemented in the dashboard, so you will not see it there yet, but we are already keeping track of the sales in the background. And at the end of the month, we're going to send you your GYMNET tokens based on your sales that you have made in April. Actually, it started on the 6th of April to be precise here. So it's not the entire April, but starting from the 6th. And even though it says April competition, I can already let you know that the 10% extra commission will be extended throughout May to keep up with our higher cash bonuses that you also receive. And with regards to that, I want to jump back here to our browser and come to, now I need to find my mouse pointer, here it is, come to our affiliate dashboard over at Gym Network, because if you are active as an affiliate, you can also earn the leadership incentives based on your team structure and the team sales that you have generated. And currently, for almost 40 days, this is still active. We have an exclusive offer going on, meaning that on the gold, platinum, and diamond reward pins that you can earn here, we have increased the cash bonus, as you can see. Normally, if you reach the gold pin, you would receive $1,500 cash bonus. During this competition period, we added up an extra $800, meaning that you will earn $2,300 cash bonus instead of just $1,500. If you reach the platinum pin within the coming 39 days, almost 40 days, you will earn an extra $1,500 cash bonus. So instead of $3,000, we have increased it to $4,500. And those of you who make it all the way up to diamond, normally it's planned, the plan was to invite you on what we call the diamond trip. But we hear you that many, like to earn the cash bonuses. So for this competition period, instead of the diamond trip, you're going to receive a $10,000 cash bonus. Now, here's yet another update that's going to be implemented today, later in the evening, Central European time, meaning that the first two incentives right here, the 1K pin and the 10K pin, you see the qualification requirements. Normally, you would have to bring in at least 2 direct partners plus generate a team turnover according to the 50% rule of $1,000 to receive the symbolic 1K pin. If you generate $10,000 team revenue, plus you generate 2 team partners within your team structure coming from different teams, and you help them, reach the 1K pin, you would then be rewarded the 10K pin award, plus you would receive a $100 cash bonus. Now, what we are going to do for these first 2 pins, the 1K and the 10K pin, we are going to remove the partner qualification, meaning all you will have to do is generate the required team turnover, but you do not yet have to build a team structure. So to receive the $100 cash bonus, the first cash incentive here of our leadership incentives, all you need to do is generate $10,000 in team revenue according to the 50% rule, but you're not required to build, the 2 team partners and help them become 1K members. So that's going to be removed. And those of you who have already generated $10,000 in team turnover according to the 50% rule, but you may not yet have, built 2 1K members within your team structure, you are going to receive that $100 cash bonus also in hindsight, right? So that's something to be looking forward to. And if we come back here to our presentation, this is just the same text that we have recently posted in our Telegram groups. You can read that here. The 10% extra commission on direct sales will be extended until the 31st of May, plus the higher cash bonuses are also still active. That's what we just talked about. Now, remind you that during May, and June. Actually, we have already started that yesterday on the 25th of April to also take into account the 15% discount promotion that's still active, so that if you generate sales, using that promotion, that will also be counting towards that May and June competition. You can get a free R10 super bundle and be invited on a trip to our offices in Dubai and Yerevan, which basically is the same as the diamond trip, right? So you can still get that diamond trip. All you will have to do is during our competition period, during May and June. So if you manage within May to generate either $20,000 direct sales revenue or $100,000 team turnover until the 31st of May, you're going to receive a free R10 super bundle, just like that, only based on your generated turnover. And by the end of June, if you're able to generate $200,000 in accumulative team turnover, always according to the 50% rule, of course, you are going to be invited on a trip to our offices in both Dubai and Yerevan. So together with all of those people who are able to reach these qualification requirements. Now, this is a great opportunity, of course, because if you are one of those who managed to generate $200,000 in team revenue until the end of June, you will go on a trip together with everyone else from our Gym Street community, from our active affiliates who are using this as a business opportunity, knowing that these are all people who are able to generate, that kind of revenue within a certain amount of time. That's a great way to network, to learn from each other, to network with each other, and also to get to know each other, of course. Now, the competition has just started yesterday on the 25th of April, so such that the discounted super bundles also count towards your team turnover. And just for you to be reminded, and this is the last slide, and then we're done for today, that we still have the global line that's also active. It has started on the 9th of March, so about 1.5 months ago. And that means that everyone who joins Gym Street participates in the global line and can earn a commission from everyone else who joins after you, right? So from the moment you join, everyone else who join after you, you are going to earn, a commission from their generated sales based on the number of shares that you have to participate in the global line. And how that looks, we can just come back here to our dashboard to have a look at it live. So with this example account, I had joined the global line at position 720. Since then, 560 more people have joined, and we're currently at position 1,280 overall global line positions. And with only one share, and that's important for you to understand, all I have here with this example account is one single share based on the value of my purchases of $100, meaning I get one share to participate in the global line. And with that one share, I have already earned $3. Now, that doesn't sound like a large amount. And if you just look at the dollar value, what's $3? But if you look at it percentage-wise, one single share from position 720, so only 560 people who have joined after me have generated me 3%. If you take that $100 value, to get the one share, I have earned $3, which equals 3% based on my purchase amount. And that's only from position 720. Now, those who have joined even earlier, maybe they have purchased, super bundles or more land parcels and miners, meaning that they have made larger purchases and therefore they have more shares to participate in the global line. They will, of course, earn then a higher percentage if you look at it from the percentage perspective. So always keep that in mind, that everyone who joins Gym Street, and the global line is still active if we come down here also for 43 days. So almost the same as the leadership, incentives that we have increased the cash bonuses. It's kind of like tied to the remainder of the global line, meaning that if you use this also not only as a sales instrument, but also for yourself, everyone still has the chance to participate in the worldwide generated turnover here at Gym Street, the first financial district in the metaverse. All right, guys. So the final slide for today, just to remind you that you can always come here to our link tree where you will find all our social media channels combined in one place. This is what it looks like. So you can find our documentations here, our weekly webinars overview, our YouTube channels. It's highly recommended that if anything, you should definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel where you get always, you know, the recent webinar uploads, video tutorials, you know, and VR showcases from our business partners and so on. But we're also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So if you happen, which I assume most of you are active on Instagram and or Facebook, you can also follow us there and easily, you know, share our posts with your team partners that way. And if you prefer Discord, that's where you can also, you know, start the discussion with us. But of course, most important, actually, our Telegram channel and the groups to always be, you know, up to date, because that's where we, you know, share most of our relevant information with our community is through Telegram. All right, guys. So that's it for today. I think this was an awesome session that we had today, starting with Swapin, our new business partner. And even if you're not, you know, within the European Union, we have heard that there are also other ways, you know, if you want to pay bills, you know, to someone that happens to be in the SEPA payment a room right here in the EU, you can still use Swapin to send, you know, cryptocurrencies to make those payments, or you can start, you know, by simply signing up an account already today to be informed as soon as they are able, you know, to further expand their services throughout the world. And as we heard, there are also plans to come up with a debit card, which would also then, you know, accompany our own Cash FT card, which is already available in many countries throughout the world, right? And by the way, since I've just mentioned Cash FT, the global line is also the Cash FT card sales are also added into the global line. So if you purchase a Cash FT card from the Maximian plan or upwards, you will get shares in the global line, but also everyone else who purchases Cash FT cards, that generated revenue is also added to the global line, you know, and distributed among the members according to their shares, right? And then we heard Alberto talk about the stabilization and growth of the GYMNET token. And right here, I've shown you that you can always come here to our documentation to have a closer look at the GYMNET utility, what's yet to come. And all these things are going to add, you know, as use cases to the GYMNET not being sold, but people, you know, holding on to it or hodling their GYMNET so that they can actually use them later on in our metaverse. And with the ongoing sales, you know, and the buy and burn mechanism, which you can also read more about here in our documentation. The buy and burn mechanism explained how, you know, what percentages are being used and how to add to our buy and burn mechanism to help stabilize and grow the price of the GYMNET token. All right, guys. So for now, I would say we will end the official part and stop the recording. Make sure that you stay within our live webinar so that we can do the land raffle and see who is going to be the lucky winner today for free land parcel in the Gym Street metaverse.